Mhm. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 10 of our Barefoot Series. I'm going to hold my microphone like this again. We are here in another evening time walk. We are barefoot on the pavements, on the sidewalk, whatever you call it. And I know, once again, I know that the visual is not going to be as strong as what you may like it to be because we are in the beautiful night sky. But can you see that moon? Oh, what a beautiful Gemini moon right now. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. The moon and the stars, that blanket above us, that velvet sky, and the blankets of the clouds, offering us a little bit of warmth as they dance over the twilights, the starlights, the moonlight. The moon is an interesting one because of the time that we're in. I feel it's because of the time that we're in. I wonder many things. One of which being how you are and where you are walking today, how you are connecting. I was thinking about showing up today. The phrase showing up. Do you show up? Do we show up for ourselves, for others? In a world that we're in, it's so easy to be busy. It's so easy to have a full schedule, super full. No time can be created. It's very easy to do that. We've kind of been conditioned to do that as well, hey? And I was just thinking about this because out of the whole year, this is probably the most busiest time. And I chose to do a 30-day series from Christmas onwards. And I say, what I mean when I say that it is busy or full, I'll say full because I prefer the vibration of that word. It's a full, satisfying time for me with a lot of adventure and excitement. I'm doing a lot of travel right now. A lot of travel, a lot of movement, a lot of connecting with soul family, a lot of light work, earth work, a lot of shadow work and dancing through those shadows. And today's been a day where I've driven many miles. I've been on the road a lot, and you hear me say this in quite a few videos where I'm doing a lot of travel, a lot of things like that. And I had appointments today, which, oh God, goodness, do I love. I love them so much. And I actually even booked myself an appointment because it's so rare when we offer this type of service, when we offer one-to-ones or anything that is, well, anything really, but especially when you are someone who offers your time, your love, your energy, your connection to others, sometimes we can forget to remember to receive that ourselves. And so as a solstice gift to myself, I gifted myself a appointment with a wonderful, beautiful soul who I first connected with many years ago. I want to say many, I suppose it's not that many, 5, 6 years ago. I connected with her through YouTube on her videos. And they really helped me through a very challenging dark night series of events that I went through. And I remember in that moment saying to myself, a good 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, it's probably about 2015, 16. And I remember saying to myself, wow, the resonance of this beautiful being is so strong. And I love everything that she's speaking of about the union of masculine, feminine, the sacred sanctity of all that, as opposed to the wounded side, and how we actually heal our wounds, how we actually do all that. I remember saying to myself back then, and this is when I was in a space where I really had nothing to my name at all. I couldn't afford a meal back then. And I remember thinking, one day I'm going to book myself an appointment with this being if she still resonates with me and if I still really feel called. One day I'm going to book her an appointment with this beautiful soul. And it just so happened that when the solstice came, I received an email from her, and I thought, I was like, oh, I actually haven't had an email from this person for a long time. And I received this off chance email. about about her subscription list, and I was like, I've not received an email. I mustn't have been on this list. But I'm so grateful that I got this email because she doesn't actually offer one-to-one appointments, only rarely through the year. And I was so excited because I went onto the website and I was like, there's one appointment left, and I booked it for myself. And I was like, wow, what are the chances there were just one appointment left? And I had the abundance to offer that exchange. It wasn't even something that was questioned in my mind. I was like, no, I know. I feel the resonance of this when I show up for myself in this way as well. But I share this because I just had the most wonderful quantum session with the beautiful lady called Erica. And it was profound. We did so much healing, not just for myself, my own timeline, but some of the things that came through were so profound that we know it was for the collective as well, for the sacred feminine energy rising, the sacred masculine energy birthing as well. On both sides, it wasn't just one, it was both. It was a really powerful, quite a long appointment. And it was way past 9 p.m. and I did a lot in my day already. It's been a long day. I've been packing up, helping someone move house, a lot of driving on really challenging roads in the south of England where there really are no roads sometimes, not for where I was driving anyway. And I then had lots to do still. I had to carry on packing and cleaning this home and just other bits and pieces. And I was like, I haven't done my barefoot video today. I've been barefoot through the day, but I haven't done my video. And it just got me thinking about showing up. And I was like, I know everyone would understand if I didn't do a day and I did 2 days in one. I know everyone would understand, really. But then I was like, but regardless as to whether people would understand or not, do I need to do that? What does my body tell me to do? And instead of listening to my mind and thinking of all the things that were left to do, besides eat as well, because I hadn't actually had my dinner yet. And I just listened to my body. My body didn't really want food by form of nourishment. It wanted connection. For any of you that have been following my videos for a while, you'll know that I like to play with pranic nourishment. I like to help my body remember how it can thrive off prana in its lightest form. How we don't always need that solid food or that liquid form of food. We can actually receive food through qigong, through yoga, through connection, through laughter, through many things. If the body is at a space where it can remember that, if it's ready to remember that. We see many ascended beings have remembered that, and we hear about those times in any popular books of the mystery schools and things like that. And I was like, tonight I'm going to connect. I'm going to show up for myself in this way because this is what my body needs. After a healing like that, this is what my body needs. And it was just fun to think of, because how many times do we talk ourselves out of showing up for ourselves, whether that's for a meditation, some stillness, some quiet, some reflective time, some sleep, an early night. Doesn't matter what it is. How do we show up for ourselves? It's just fun to think of, fun to think about. So as I look back up in the sky and I'm like, where's that moon? That Gemini moon. Gemini. There is an interesting energy with Gemini, as there is with every sign of the zodiac. We have all of the signs in our charts, and we go through all the signs to get here, and we embody those archetypes in various ways, and we transcend those archetypes. That's the point, in my opinion. That's the point. We transcend the archetypes and reconcile ourselves. One of my favorite words of the year, apparently. Reconcile. And we find ourselves transcending those archetypes and stereotypes to become more of who we truly are on a source level. But Gemini has this magic gift of seeing things, of the waves of inspiration and thoughts and air, of dashing through so quickly, so vast and abstract, so able to, yes, methodically and analytically view something, but also to offer various different views and thoughts of something. Some would even say polarized, liking things this one way, but then the total opposite as well. And it's interesting because it got me wondering, about how we feel about the moon. How we feel about that moon. Because there are some that love the moon. I love the moon because I love. My nature is to love. That's who I am. I love. So I love all things. Doesn't matter what you say. I love it. I love it. I just love. Because everything that we feel and everything that is outside of us is a reflection of us, right? And my goal is to vibrate love. I like to continue to expand that. And that part of that is a big dance of the shadows, right? And yet there are some that feel really polarized by the moon, that feel really charged by it. We have beliefs and opinions, as we have beliefs and opinions about many things, but everything really is just energy. It's our thoughts that puts a charge on it. It's a thought that affects how we feel about something. Now the moon connects with our emotional and spiritual bodies. It connects with that flow, and it highlights for us and it shows us what we may be ignoring, not seeing, what we may be dismissing. And it's interesting because in this world, in this time, where the feminine is not equal with the masculine yet, where there is a rise of both sacred masculine and sacred feminine, where they are rebirthing and initiating one another, it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me because we are coming up to a Cancer full moon. Such emotional satisfaction to be had, completion, understanding, seeing the moon nearly full, fully pregnant, ripe, with the light of the sun, ready to pour that back into the earth, as one of my other dear friends says, so beautifully, poetically. And I look at the moon and I go, something shining so bright, so beautiful. How could anyone feel anything other than love? And I'm like, well, it's not that they don't feel that. It's that somewhere within, there is a want to feel that. Because anyone that is charged in any which way about anything, doesn't matter whether it's a thing, a person, a being, whenever we feel strongly one way about something, especially if it's a lower energy, if we feel charged, it's because part of us really knows that the true essence of who we are is love. There is a polarized spectrum within, illuminating a gap, a bridge that we at some point will get to walk when we choose, when it's right for us. Not when it's right for anyone else around us, but when it's right for us. And I just find that so beautiful. And as I say this, the wind is just blowing the clouds away so I can see the moon fully again. I see all the stars. I see Orion. I see the Pleiades. I see them all. And I get so excited as I receive the cosmic wisdom and the love beaming down, beaming from everywhere and everything through all the elements. And I thank myself for choosing to show up for this walk, where I could have easily just said, I'm just going to shower and go to bed. My body needed the movement, the connection. And because of that, my vibration feels like it's risen even more. How do you want your vibration to feel? What do you feel? What do you feel? How do you want to feel? How do you achieve that? Everyone's different, so I am genuinely curious. If you want to let me know in the comments, please do so. But until then, I'm going to send you all so much love, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 11. And thank you for joining me on this beautiful barefoot evening